Welcome back to Divinity 648. My name is Christina. I'm a high vibrational energy intuitive. This is Solstice energy reading for Capricorn. Today is that peak energy of Solstice energy for 2021. Amazing energy for Capricorn. That saying, it happened for you, not to you, is so valid for your specific space. It's like everything you went through, everything you experienced, everything you overcame was literally that missing component. Like when I say the energy that flung at you, how instantly it got transmuted into growth and healing and understanding, the hardships you went through, it humbled you, it grounded you, it gave you different perspectives, right? One of my favorite things that I like to say is how everything I've ever gone through, I accept it as a life lesson so I can work with my clients on a different level, right? Because you're not supposed to look down at somebody when you're trying to help them up. You're supposed to get down on their level and get up together with them, show them how you can get up. There's a big difference there. And I'm just seeing that the things that you've gone through, Capricorn, this karmic cycle that is going to be put to bed is the financial hardships. It's the emotional duress. It's that owning your shit kind of energy, and letting people know. Listen, I know what the heck you've been doing this whole time. I'm not stupid. I've been very good, very patient, and very understanding, right? And that's that energy that you've been embodying and demonstrating to the average individual in your life because unconditional love. You have been going through all of this so you can have the necessary experiences and emotions so that way when you see it in someone else, you instantly understand and recognize it. You relate to it on a different level, so you understand when this person is coming forward with real genuine circumstances and when someone's coming forward with manipulation or trying to put on the facade, right? There's none of that shit anymore. There's no more blinders. So Capricorn, those financial hardships, those very unfortunate events, they led to so many doors of opportunity. It is like, whoa, seriously. Like you could actually take a break for a change because some of you have been on that hamster wheel and not, you feel like you're not going anywhere. But what that hamster's not realizing is there's stuff connected to the hamster wheel that ends up like lighting up a whole building, right? So you weren't seeing the results of the bullshit up front because you were so busy running on that wheel. But when you take a step back, or now that things have been completed with this karmic cycle, you can see every room lit up and you're like, wow, all that hard work really did pay off. I saved like fucking whatever, right? Or it's beautiful lights, I don't know, whatever you want. But that's the overall vibration, that's the overall feeling of what solstice energy is completing, tying up, and presenting to your vibration collectively. Um, Dreams. The dream state is amazing for you. The dream state is, you know, you're realizing again who your friends are and who are not. Okay. You're realizing that for every fake friend, there was a lesson, right? There was growth. There was, oh my God, I went through this hardship, but I got to learn this about myself, or I got to experience, like, there's a lot of that going on. And not just on your side, Capricorn, this is on their side as well. Some of them might even try to come back around. Um, a lot of them are coming back around. A lot of them actually are really genuinely sorry. Uh, really genuinely sorry. They didn't realize their actions were the way that they were until afterwards. Again, it's like the hamster. They're so busy on that wheel in the flow of their life and the way that they want things to unfold for themselves that they don't get to see the consequences, right? Like the best way that I can describe this is we all play our role here and we're all on this wheel, and this giant wheel keeps going, 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 right? The wheel of fortune on the tarot cards. Or the world card, like that's the rotation, right? We keep it going. Um, but we never get to see the outcome, like in your face kind of feeling. It usually you're in it. It's like you're wrapped up in it, so you don't get to see it for what it is. You only get to see your perspective. You don't get to see it on the board, how it actually plays out. Which is why it's so important for people to do like video diaries and stuff like that, because then you're able to kind of watch your own TV series, right? Wouldn't that be some shit? If Netflix ended up doing something with people, or Hulu or whoever, where everybody just starts doing video journals of their entire life and they actually upload them, kind of like here on YouTube, but like really raw shit. And people would subscribe and pay to watch your life unfold because it's like, damn, that could be a fucking movie. Just fucking just upload it. I'm sorry to swear, but that's the energy I'm in. Somebody's going to start doing that. If you're not already thinking about it or working on it, you might already have the footage to do it. Some of you are doing your own biographies while you're still alive, so that way you can partake in it and it can be valid, right? Like, who wants to hear about a story after somebody died? I want the story while that person's still alive, so I know the facts, so I know what really happened. I mean, granted, they'll censor some stuff, but I want it raw, right? So that's going on for some Capricorns. You have a lot of potential. You have a lot of material under your hands to create instead of destruct. And I know a lot of people like to see things like, well, that's going to destroy the lives of many because you're laying people's shit bare. But at the same time, yeah. And you know what? I mean, Hitler played a role, right? He played a role. They still told his story. His shit still got bared. And it went in history. And people corrected themselves. Not really, but people corrected some stuff because of what happened there. It's not meant to destroy people's lives. It's meant to open up the eyes, not just of the people involved, but the other people involved who can understand this is not okay. This can't continue the way that it is. So while you're laying people's shit bare at the same time, you're showing other people you're not fucking crazy. And yes, you really are going through this. And here's how you get the fuck out. Because the bottom line here is the average individual who would be drawn to something that I produce should be high vibrational or trying their hardest to get there. And you need to understand that no, you're not making this up. You're not a magnet for chaos and fuckery. You just vibrate, and it's like a moth to a flame. People just want to fuck with you because they're insecure and they don't understand why you contain certain traits or characteristics in the way that you do, and they don't. And what they're not realizing is that natural beauty, inner beauty, that comes from within. And it's not that anybody has anything special or better than the next person, right? Because we all sweat people's asses for some fucking reason. Okay? Not everybody needs a silicone ass. And it's like you're sweating it, but why not love yourself so much and pour your own energy into your own body, and get on some fucking vitamins, start eating differently, so that way you can have a fat ass naturally, or not. I don't care how you get it, but the bottom line is you shouldn't be attacking somebody else. to obtain that validation within yourself that you're still just as good. That person's in their own lane, minding their own business. They don't give a fuck about you. Self-love, that's a real thing and it's essential. And when you vibrate so high, you allow that self-love to flow outwardly like the sun rays, and people just love that shit. So that's the key to it, is loving the shit out of yourself, you know? Excuse me. So a lot of physical outlets are happening for Capricorn energy. That's what solstice is bringing in for you specifically. It's that, you know what, yep, whatever hardships I've been through, I'm over that shit. I'm going to use that as my foundation to move forward. And that's exactly what you're doing. And you're going to attract the appropriate people to you. Those are the people who understand and relate to you, or those are the people who find your story fascinating and they want to watch your story, regardless how you put it out, blog it, video journal, write a series of books. I don't, whatever you do, you do. But you need to trust your path. And when your intuition tells you not to do something, just say no. You don't need to have an explanation. You don't need to justify your actions. And you don't need to explain yourself in any level, for any reason, on any degree, to any person. Just say no. You want to go to the mall tomorrow? No. No. That's it. I just don't want to go. That's it. Period. End of story. Sorry, I'm trying to move forward in life. I'm not trying to stay stuck in this current situation. So I'm trying to not have unnecessary spending habits. I'm trying to correct my shit because I can't stay comfortable like that, right? It's that being motivated, especially if you're a parent. No parent should want to just be mediocre. Every parent should want to excel. Every parent should always be looking for the next opportunity to get even higher in life, because that's less karmic cycles that your children have to endure because you couldn't get over them. That's the key. Um, you've got a lot of Capricorn, higher vibrational Capricorns at this point. Sorry about that. This nice energy is coming through. Some of you are going to either give someone validation or verbal confirmation of some kind, or they're going to somehow, some way get information that gives them the tools that they need to finally sleep at night. Some of them are going to be able to put things to an end, right? They were waiting for information or knowledge or the tools, or like the acceptance letter or the proposal letter, or they were waiting on something and they finally get it. If it's not you, then it's them. And whatever this is, it helps them sleep better at night. And it also helps them release the final things that need to go. A lot of water energy. And it's funny because the last sign that I did was Cancer, and Cancer is showing up here. And I don't like to call out zodiac signs, but Cancer energy's here. A lot of them, once they put that stuff to bed and release those things from their life, they finally have that, you know, that happiness, not just during the day, but also at night, right? Not just at night, but also during the day. It's like, I really wish I could show my cards right now. I literally clarified the Ten of Cups with the Ten of Cups. And the first deck that I used was the Ten of Cups during the day. And the second card deck that I used is the Ten of Cups at night. And they're literally day and night, with the day card to the left and the night card to the right. And it's just freaking beautiful how it falls into play. I love when I channel high vibrational energy, because the way the cards just roll out, it's just perfect. It's always just like amazing. And I am going to make sure I post this one. I did not post the other signs, the layout of the cards on the website like I wanted to, but I'm going to make sure I do this one. So either way, Capricorn, that energy, that component, that letter, that document, that information, that clarity, whatever you want to call it, whatever's going on in whatever part of your life, it came in, or it's coming in or the person that you're waiting on is receiving it. And it helps them, and you'll know that this is specific because they finally can sleep at night. They're finally comfortable saying, I can let this shit go. I can release that stuff away. And it allows them to kind of really get back into their energy. It allows them to really have that, sometimes you're in a not in a rut, but yeah, kind of like in a rut. There's just that layer of stagnation because you're kind of unsure. Um, well, that unsure feeling's gone because again they are seeing and realizing that they now have everything in place for their 10 of cups in the day, 10 of cups at night. They're going towards it. They literally grabbed the appropriate cup this time, and they're moving forward, and they're worried because they think that the other person, and this could be you or the person you're dealing with, is involved in other persons, or there's somebody from their past that's trying to come back in, or there's somebody new that really wants to come in, and there might even be some confrontations that you don't even know about, or you might be engaging in some type of confrontation with someone else that they don't ever find out about, where you guys get into a verbal spat or a disagreement, or you guys are intellectually kind of going at it with each other. If you are dealing with high priestess energy, and you're realizing that it's just like, listen, it is what it is. You're not getting away with any of this. There's no more putting this shit off, so don't even fight it. Just own the shit. Just own your shit. Just own your shit kind of flow. Um, I do see I do see justice somehow, some way playing a role in this. So if you've been trying to come into union with someone, but you guys couldn't come together because of miscommunications and misunderstandings and choosing the wrong people or going with the wrong flow or hanging out with the wrong crowd, sometimes you just stop being friends with someone because you start hanging out with other people and they don't really blend as much, but you find yourself more involved with them because there's more in common as far as the things that you're interested in doing, right? You just change clicks. It's kind of like that flow of things happened. And I feel like this person could be mentally battling themselves, right? Earlier, I said there could be things going on that you're not even aware of that are happening behind the scenes where they're having verbal confrontations or arguments or spiritual communication somehow. And you're not even aware of it, but it's happening. I don't know, somehow, some way I can just see it happening without like even having the knowledge of it. Uh, that's all coming to an end because again, solstice energy, we are at the peak of solstice energy. And now we can relax, right? Because after full moon, it transitions into new moon. And it was like that knowledge I got from when I was learning all the different calendars, where people would be out and about doing everything they need to do with full moon because the ground was illuminated at night, versus new moon, people go in and they heal and they digest and they move forward. New moon energy is also the time to really review on yourself. What new things do you want to bring into your life? What new things do you want to manifest? How do you want to present yourself moving forward? What things did you learn from the past karmic cycle? Because every 4 quarters plays a major role in the energy that is dealt with solstice and equinox energy. So every full moon, every new moon, you want to be in alignment with the karmic cycles that are taking place, right? The moon plays a major role in the way that we think, we function, and we project ourselves. So you want to pay attention, right? So if you are chaotic during full moon because you're sensitive to that energy, which means you are being worked on with that karmic cycle is in play. You want to carry stones with you, do your own research, find whatever stones feel great for you, um, and stuff like that. Uh, and drink plenty of water. Water is a conductor for energy. Water helps you function correctly. You need that in your body so that way you're moving around, your muscles aren't drying up like sponges. Also, I'm getting that somebody's grabbing the bull by the horns. In one of the other readings, it was like it's time to grab the bull by the horns. But this point right here, this person made the decision that actually go with the person that is not so much inexperienced, but has a lot of potential, a lot of abundance, a lot of possibilities, a lot of um, stuff going on up here, right? and they worked their ass off and they worked really, really hard. And now they're ready to approach things in a different manner because they're ready for that happy home. They see that happy home in that specific individual and they're ready to embrace it, so to speak. So they did put their burdens down, or if they haven't completed, they are doing really as much as they can, as fast as they can to put them down. um and things, nothing is stagnant, everything is in motion, everything is in alignment, everything is flowing. So if you're not going into union today, just know that the necessary steps and the necessary energies are in place to ensure that that union is still protected. Nobody is going to be able to disrupt it, delay it, or put any obstacles. If you listen to morning messages, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. There was an episode where I talked about the ancestors are here, they're removing obstacles, they're, the divine timing supersedes anything that anybody wants. Divine timing, divine order supersedes anything that anyone does. It supersedes our free will, right? Like, I can want to have this, I can want to be here, but if the divine says, no, you need to be, doing this, crossing paths with these people, working on this degree, divine order supersedes all of that. And what happened is that the divine came down, and that's when, like, the energies really got loud, right? And when I say came down, they've always been here. It's just like the energy got louder. Um, and they're more active with everyone with the moon cycles and stuff. And what's happening is they're putting you in alignment. They're picking up these giant boulders off your path, like the obstacles, the things that you're not able to get through, and they're removing them for you, right? That's that wake up one day, check your email, and you've got the job opportunity of a fucking lifetime. And it's like your prayers are answered, right? Christmas, bliss, right? That Christmas spirit is here. Everybody's vibration is getting picked up. You're supposed to be anyway. Uh, and if you're not, drink more water, please. So that Christmas cheer, that vibration is what's here. And that's because those obstacles have been lifted. And now that you're able to continue on and there's no stagnation, your energy is revving up, right? It's like a car that warms up. When you turn your car on, it's too cold. It's kind of like groggy, doesn't want to go anywhere. Versus when it's warmed up, it's nice purr and it drives off and it's really great, no hesitation kind of deal. That's what this is. That's that vibration that you're in. So you want to pay attention to any karmic warnings. If you've already been through something and you see any part of that negative stuff in the current situation, or you see that they're still on the same path, the same cycle, keep it moving. Just keep it moving. And it's okay to stay in connection with people. Just remember the lessons you've learned. Remember the lessons you've learned. That's where it all comes into place. And you know something, a lot of people really are divinely protected. A lot of people really are highly intuitive, and they can do amazing things, and they can do a lot of reiki, and they can do a lot of healing. But it takes someone to understand that you never, my old mentor, my first mentor, um was she my first? From the spiritualist church, anyway, my mentor from the spiritualist church, she once told me, oh, you never stop growing, you never stop learning, you always stay learning, there's always something new to pick up, you always have room for growth. And I never forgot that, because every time I'd be like, okay, now I know what I am, you start learning and it's like, well, wait a minute, I don't fit in that category anymore because I'm still learning, and because I can relate to all of this, that no longer fits me. You outgrow your shoes. That's pretty much, she's very right on that too. And it was exciting to see how her explanations really did unfold. Amazing. And she's Kathy Foster, the same woman who did my Akashic records. um, a very good job at that too. So, Capricorn, a lot of hidden gems here, a lot of information. Stay on your path. Say no to anything that is low vibrational. Say no. It's okay to say no. You don't need any more lessons. You don't need any more drama. You don't need any more problems. Just say no. Okay? Lots of opportunities are coming from the hardships, the lessons. There's room for you to grow through the things that you've been through. Okay. Nothing has, I can't say that. So that's it, Capricorn. I'm going to end this. So a lot of happiness is coming through for you after, those final components are in place. So either you're the one giving the information that allows the other person to release themselves from certain dynamics and mental states and get themselves right back into their natural true self, their natural true energy. That gives them that ability to see things clearly. That way they can make the decisions that they need to make and move forward on those decisions and overcome any type of conflict, mostly internal mental conflict, whether within themselves or with another person, but within themselves. You know, like sometimes you have inner dialogue and you're kind of like going off in your head. It's kind of like something like that. And I mentioned it earlier, like there might be arguments that you don't even know about that's actually taking place. And it doesn't mean that it's happening physically. It could be in the mental state where they're arguing within themselves, or with others. I don't know. But it's happening like out of your view, like you don't even know what's going on. Um, but that decision, that forward movement is exactly what needs to take place because there is divine blessings in place. There's divine order in place, right? Divine timing is here. So the people who are meant to be around are definitely going to be around. You're definitely going to see through and see who's to stay and who's to go. Um, and that's beautiful energy. There might be children in the cards. If some of you are considering children or thinking about children, I'm seeing the number two a lot. Two children. It could even be twins. I don't know. It could be just manifestations. It could be dogs. It could be fur babies. It could be adoption. It could be anything. But I am seeing two. I'm seeing the number two and I'm seeing it come through very strongly. And I'm seeing a lot of happiness around the home front. And again, not just during the day, but also at night. And not just at night, but also during the day. Like actual balanced, happy home life for a change, right? And that's it, Capricorn. So, solstice energy read for you is just that. You know, journal, pay attention to the things you're going through, trust your path, say no. It's okay to say no. If something is not in alignment with who you are and where you're going, just say no. You know what? I know what I said last week, but now this week I'm telling you no. That's it. Bottom line, I don't need an excuse. The answer is no. You have the right to refuse service to anyone for any reason. You don't need anything to say no. If the vibe is not in alignment, the vibe is not in alignment. Trust yourself. Uh, Respectfully. And that's it. Thank you, Capricorn. So this is going to be for Aries. You've been humbled. You've been humbled, Aries. Some truth came to light for you, and you've been humbled. You're learning that there's so much more to life. Obviously, you're here than just getting up and living your life, right? You're realizing that there's layers and levels to everything. Um, and you're being exposed to cosmic consciousness somehow some way. You're being exposed to higher vibrational energy somehow some way, whether it's you coming on this platform or there's somebody in your life, or you went through something so dramatic that it put you, solstice energy, you went through a karmic closure, and it basically trust it told you that that niggling feeling, that inner like knowing, was something to trust. And now that's taught you not to hold on to material things, to release yourself from those types of situations or anybody who embodies that kind of energy as their dominant priority, right? Because they're not balanced. And by doing so, it literally pushes you through this door of abundance. It's like you let go or you were humbled or forced to see yourself through, in a different way. But somehow, some way, that truth, that honesty, that trust how you're feeling, protect yourself kind of flow from people who are trying to attach themselves to you, um, just for the stability or the financial gain that you have to offer. Or this could be you who does this to other people and you're being humbled because individuals are no longer enabling you. And there's that opportunity as well, because going through this, it somehow some way is related to spiritual growth, spiritual development, right? It's like, wow. So it's time to make a decision, right? It's time to make that blue pill, red pill decision. Do you want to know about life on a different level? Do you even want to entertain it? Some people already had this opportunity to tap into their divine gifts and they chose no. Well, those people, Aries specifically, you are being presented an opportunity for spiritual growth. And again, there's something about you owning your truth. There's something about you being humbled by truth. Um, and you basically were getting divine guidance, red flags, warnings like, hey, pay attention to this. Somehow, some way you were crossing paths with somebody at this point. Somehow, some way somebody grabbed you by your arm or bumped your shoulder. Um, your ancestry could have helped you out. Your ancestry could have came in and gave you that knowledge that was necessary. Uh, and because of it, it allowed you to step out of that indecision, right? That niggling feeling is the same energy as indecision. Okay. Something's not right. Address it now. So trust that feeling. That feeling is that indecision energy that's letting you know something's not right here. Zoom in, pay better close attention. And if something came to show you, like if somebody shows you deceit and then you forgive them, and then the next opportunity they have, they give you even more deceit than the first time, they're not worth being forgiven. You can forgive them, but they're showing you that they can't stop. It's going to keep getting worse. Like they deceived you in a small way with maybe one or two people here, and then they deceived you in a big way with maybe like 10 or 12 people up here, right? It's only going to keep getting worse, right? You already know this from personal experience. You understand this, so you want to trust that intuitive pull. That indecision is there to make you change the way that you handle this situation on a regular basis. Um, as far as your thread of what's going to be coming through with solstice, some of you are really uh, fertile, and maybe if not with children, then with ideas, with abundance, with nurturing tendencies, with money, with somehow some way you're just that person that people want to be with. And there's somebody rushing in to give you more than what you have. And they really want to be that person that lights that fire for you. They want to be the fire to your meal, right? Like the fire you cook your food with. Like they want to nourish you. They want to somehow, some way play that role. And this person understands what it's like to have their back stabbed because they've gone through that, and they as well use that darkness to push them forward and guide them forward towards being in alignment with their true nature, natural self. They're nourishing themselves because they can't wait for somebody else to do it for them. And that's something that draws you into them. And together you give this to each other, right? You go from, uh, it's almost like this Aries. You were possibly in a relationship with someone who betrayed you in ways that you cannot even wrap your mind around because it is so hurtful. And because of this, you got propelled into this energy of following your divine guidance, following your ancestors' wisdom, and trusting your intuition and moving forward. Okay. That brought you to the person who you're meant to be with somehow, some way. You could have been devastated in a situation thought that you lost out on all kinds of opportunities with people that you really wanted to be with the whole time. And then what you find out after you heal yourself is that you never really lost that person. But that the distance or the separation was necessary so you can kind of boss up energetically, and you could see who your snakes are and who your light is. And what you got to see was that the one that you're supposed to be with is the one that raises your vibration somehow and nourishes you and is still there for you even when you're kind of hanging upside down, stagnant. And what you've done is you've got that motivation to put in a new plan, a new strategy, a new way of living, and you're pursuing that new beginning, that new opportunity. And it's something that's been due to you. It's divinely ordered, it's divinely guided. Um, and it might even be another marriage for some people. For some people, you're actually taking off and you're traveling and you're moving away. But whatever it is, there's no hostility, there's no tension. Everybody who's involved is at peace. Everything is flowing naturally. Even the person that you're leaving behind, or, and things ended toxically with, there's no more bullshit, period. End of story. Like, it's a clean cut, it's a clean break. And you are going towards fulfillment. You are going towards something that is very valuable to you. And it doesn't have to be an object, it doesn't have to be a person. It could just be a new way of living, a new way of accepting things, new friends, new city, new town, or a new relationship, or what have you. It's up to you to decide where that fits into play. So, that is the overall energy that Solstice is dealing with, when it comes to the Aries energy. And if you don't have Aries in your chart, you might be dealing with someone who does. Okay, this is now Aquarius. Aquarius, you have been working, Solstice is bringing in or has caused you to work on being more adaptable, right? Being more fluid, being more accepting of the things that are going on around you, okay? Some of you are realizing or coming to new realizations or having a new type of outlook on things that are related to spirituality, death, and magic in general. You're learning a different way of going about things as well. uh in this spiritual unfoldment, this spiritual development, this spiritual clarity that you're now receiving, um it's guiding you or opening the doors for you into some type of abundance. Okay, maybe you start a YouTube channel, maybe you start doing outreach more and it just is more favorable, or your clientele increases. Whatever it is that you are manifesting is really going to flourish. So it's so important, though, that no matter what you do, no matter what unfolds for you, you focus on self-love, you focus on understanding, you focus on um, staying in alignment with Mayat principles, right? Aries is dealing with Mayat now, right? Mayat's energy is forcing people to be in alignment with the scales, right? Being truthful, following certain principles and moral integrity, stuff like that is being bestilled in Aries right now, or they went through something that awakens these qualities within themselves. And you, Aquarius, this solstice energy is bringing in that adaptability, that clarity between realms and physical and non-physical existence, right? And as you further explore and manifest and really just pour yourself, your love into yourself and give yourself the things that you need, number one, you start by apologizing to yourself, right? Aries and Aquarius. You apologize to yourself for blocking yourself from happiness, blocking yourself from love, blocking yourself from whatever opportunities. Then you start apologizing for, um, I don't know, whatever it is you feel like you need to apologize. I feel like that pretty much summed it up. So some of you are apologizing to yourself for things that you allowed to continue to happen to yourself, right? That's that calling back your power. cleaning your energy, loving yourself very much. A lot of getting grounded type energies coming through for you guys, so that way you can awaken yourself up, right? Leo a while ago had this energy. It wasn't Leo. I'm saying Leo because I'm seeing the lion, but it wasn't Leo. It was collective energy for higher vibrationals. You want to get there. You want to be that lion that gets up and walks through that gate and gets those three types of reactions. It's either admiration, deer with headlights, or they're fleeing kind of flow. And the thing you need to do to nourish yourself, to put you in alignment with that wave, is to keep yourself grounded. Love the shit out of yourself, right? Be open to spirituality. um I respect all religions. I have my understandings and my clarities, and I understand what's considered an embellishment and what's actual factual, but I still respect all religions because I understand that the foundation of every single religion is in alignment somehow, some way with the principles of Mayat, which to me has been proven to be the true golden rules of this world, of this existence. If you are not in alignment with those kind of things, you notice that bad things can happen to you. So I understand how important that is, and I do respect all religions. And I do see that you, Aquarius, is going through those same things. You're learning and expanding your knowledge. And what that's doing is that's putting you in a position to discover and tap into that information and really light yourself up, in a sense that you will now become that lion or lioness that gets up and walks through those gates, and people are literally reacting at you like, whoa. Either they are in admiration, they are in shock, complete shock, right? Like the deer with headlights, or they're realizing that they did lawful actions towards you, and they just want to stay out of your sight, because they fear the consequences. Because when a lion or a lioness gets up, that's like, the pharaoh, the Leo, the cat, the pharaoh in Egypt, that giant cat. um when I say the lion gets up and walks through the gates, I mean something massive, like the force of that lion right there, that pharaoh getting up and just walking. Some people are going to be in shock. Other people are going to be in admiration, like, oh my God, prophecies have been fulfilled. Oh my God, this is God sent. This cat is made out of, material, and it just, in shock, in admiration, or fucking running because you're like, oh shit, there's a god in that fucking thing and it's moving around. Holy shit, let me run. Right? Because right away we think of Transformers and aliens attacking the universe and stuff. So depending on your vibration, the reaction is going to be different, which means there's gods and goddesses waking the fuck up, divine beings, divine feminines, chosen ones. And what you're doing is you're literally lighting yourself up to be in acceptance with that. You're learning that that shit is real. Um, and what it's doing is it's actually activating you in ways that make you have that Midas touch. And you're finding yourself apologizing a lot more. I apologize all the time. I actually annoy some people sometimes. I know my boss used to be like, stop telling me you're sorry. Why are you sorry? He would actually like stimulate me to catch me. So I would catch myself saying, I'm so sorry, but, and honestly, it's like I'm in the presence of being sorry for low vibrational reoccurrences, of regardless of what they are. So because I understand karmic law, I understand the exchange of energy. I understand that if I apologize for things, whether I have bad ownership or not, like I hate to be the bird, the carrier of bad news. I apologize, but this is what's happening. And that's because I understand to keep the scales balanced, right? That way, there's a solution easily obtainable because I've already apologized for the inconvenience. And it goes so much deeper than that, right? It goes so much deeper. So you're going to be catching yourself apologizing a lot. And I want you to understand the reason why you're apologizing a lot is because without even, like, your heart beats without you telling it to. You naturally just apologize because you understand, by putting sympathy and compassion and understanding out, you're creating a more harmonious and peaceful and balanced situation, balanced dynamic. even if they're not reciprocating the apology the way that you meant it, you're still apologizing in general. That's a certain vibration. And it's really important to be accountable, whether you're accountable or not, right? Like ownership, leadership, step up to the plate. So stay grounded, make sure you're drinking plenty of water. I do see a lot of you becoming that lion or lioness that gets up and walks through those gates and really like shows people who you are. There's a lot of things that people are discovering. They're realizing, people might have hid feelings from you, or, miscommunications might be getting cleared up, or someone is just going to be like, wow, I absolutely love you. And it might not even be romantic wise, right? It could just be like, likes attract likes kind of flow. So as far as like your thread goes for everything that Solstice is doing for you, all that juggling that you had going on, a lot of people, like I know me, sometimes during the day I look at the clock and I'm like, what the fuck, how did this much time go by? You know what I'm saying? It's like there's not enough time in the day kind of energy. Ground yourself, so you can I can't get the word, but I can feel the word. Ground yourself so that way you're getting the most of your days. You're really taking a chunk out of your list of responsibilities within a given time period. Keep yourself grounded. Keep a list so that way you can actually consciously have like, okay, I should have been done by now kind of flow. Have a lot of patience with yourself too. And remember that it's easier to have patience and go with divine timing than trying to be tricky about it, deceitful about it, sneaking away. Own the shit that you do. I do see a lot of people coming into union. It makes sense. You wake up, you realize the person you've been with isn't the right one, and you want to dash in and run towards the person that you love the most. And you'll know who you are because the person or the group of people that I'm talking about, it's like, oh, I love it. One of the cards in front of me is that pharaoh, that Egyptian energy. This person is rushing in because they realize that they have a true they're in alignment with where they want to be, right? And they're pursuing it. They're done with it occupying their day. They're done with it like they can't function at work because all they can think about is this. And they're coming in and they're giving that love to you, and or you're receiving it. Like maybe it's consuming your day all day, every day, and that person's like, man, I can't keep putting this person through this. So they come rushing in to give you that fulfillment. Others of you, it is literally a coming together, a merger of families, realizing that you're really protected, realizing that you're really gifted, realizing that you don't have to be. No codependencies, no attachments kind of flow, which was that energy that came through with Aries. So some of you are following your heart's desire and coming into union with the person that gives you emotional fulfillment. And what that does is that removes you from being in a dynamic that contained codependencies or toxicities or anything that was low vibrational. And best believe if you are still struggling to get yourself out of this, simple communication, have a spiritual conversation with the universe, with your gods, with your ancestors, anyone in your family, because we have free will. So you have to sit there and say, I know I have free will, but I could really use some help getting out of this situation. Any guidance is preferred, right? And I just see that coming through. I see you being able to overcome any mental obstructions. And I see you being able to stand in your power. It's almost like now you can kind of sit back and look at the hamster wheel and see everything that work and that nonsense created, right? So it's like if you were spinning that wheel and you were the one running on that, now you're sitting back in that chair, relaxing, taking that break and seeing the bigger picture. There is a lot of union energy here. If you are a drinker, you are no longer having that requirement, that taste. You're not craving it anymore. I do see you being able to tap into that love feeling energy, that being in love, that blissful energy. And I do see you moving forward. I don't see any stagnation or any blockages that stop you from separating yourself and moving forward into union. And union doesn't have to be with a person. It could be a new job. It could be a new home. It could be a new way of living. Maybe you are divorced or separated and now you're in a new home. You have a new beginning. You're union with yourself kind of deal, loving yourself, that self-love. This would be the time to manifest. What do you want in a new life? How do you want your life to exist? You know, what kind of people are you trying to attract? We always say, oh, I'm always by myself, I can't wait to find love. Well, what exactly do you consider love? Like, what are your expectations? What are your requirements? What are your standards? What are your values? You know, dating someone, for me, it's like you have to meet a certain criteria, and it's not like anybody's a gold digger or anything, because that's not even in existence. It's about, do you have the means of being everything that I'm not? Because I want somebody who can help me grow. I want someone who can stimulate my mind, because I'm always going to be learning something. I'm always going to be growing as an individual. I don't ever want to be stuck stagnant and content watching, you know, the Real Housewives. I want to always be in motion. I want to grow. I want to be productive. I want to pave the way for my kids. You know, if my kids eventually have kids, I want to be ready to. I've got grandkids now. I'm not done learning. I'm not done growing. I'm not done experiencing. So I want somebody who can be in alignment with that, right? And it's not necessarily a physical action. It could just be intellectual, right? So you need to make sure that you're finding certain things about yourself and requiring certain things in the people that you would consider your own, right? You can't sit here and say, I want a boyfriend, uh, but I don't know what I want in that boyfriend. Well, do you like a boyfriend who's controlling? I know I don't, but I do like a boyfriend who knows how to step up to the plate and tell me when I'm wrong, right? So you have to know what you're willing to accept in a person and what you're not willing to accept in a person. So when those persons come around, you know if this is not the one or it is the one, right? When you walk out of a relationship with someone, you're supposed to reflect, you're supposed to heal, and you're supposed to grow. And what that means is you reflect on that entire relationship. You see your fucked upness, you see their fucked upness, you see how you both fucked up shit, and you realize what you want to accept in a next person and what you're not willing to repeat in your next cycle or your next relationship. And that takes time, right? Which is why it's so important to have time to yourself before you jump into a relationship with someone else. It's so important to heal, right? Spiritual solitude. You have to remember, Aquarius, people are like the color wheels, right? The colors. If you are yellow energy, yellow color, and you're in a relationship that's blue, both of your energy is now green. So then when you go and you get in a, you know, you break up or whatever, and you don't give yourself time to clean and heal and release that residual energy, which would return you back to yellow, and you go right into another relationship, you're bringing the toxicity of that past relationship or that energy of that past person, and you're bringing it right into the forefront with your new relationship and this new person. You're not allowing them to have the true authentic version of yourself, right? Which is just like a clusterfuck. It's never going to work, because eventually that other person's energy is gone, and now it's just you, and now that person's seeing a different side to you, and they're kind of like, well, what happened? You know, or maybe they're grateful, like, okay, the worst is over. Now I have just you, like I can deal with this. Like, that was your worst, okay, great. And the worst wasn't even you, it was the residual energy of being in a relationship with someone else. So there's just a lot of energy in place. You want to make sure you take time to cleanse yourself, heal yourself. Don't be so quick to, you know, while you're healing yourself too, don't be surprised if somebody else is releasing themselves from other dynamics, because they're like, okay, that person's doing the work. That person embodies everything that I'm looking for. They meet my requirements in a person that I want to live with or have a life with. Same thing with a job. This could be any field. So they're walking away from their dynamic because their dynamic wasn't fulfilling enough, or it was like a circus, or like toxicity, or something you would watch on Real Housewives. Or, and I'm not dissing Real Housewives, I'm just using it as an example of how toxic shit can tend to be, and it doesn't need to get there. And it's not just that show, it could be Bad Girls Club, it could be anything, right? So I see that energy coming through. I see you detaching yourself from what no longer serves a purpose and going towards whatever is more in alignment with where you're supposed to be in life. And this is something that's been on your mind and kind of consuming your life on an overall focus. Like when you're at work, when you're cooking, when you're cleaning, it's like on your mind, on your mind, on your mind. And you're finally given that guidance or the missing pieces that you needed. This ties into, I think, Capricorn, and it allows you to kind of take in or Cancer, and it allows you to kind of take control of your dynamic. And again, those codependent situations, those toxic situations are being put to rest. They're being put to rest. And they're no longer going to be allowed to come forward. You're overcoming them. There's judgment in place. There's like, this is it. The scales are getting balanced kind of flow. And again, I do feel like you're finally, if not you, then the person that's coming towards you actually, maybe finally off that hamster wheel and can see the big picture and be like, oh, damn, I was down here fucking with all this fuckery, and this person's got all this stuff going on, and this is where I really want to be, and I didn't even know all of this was going on. So that's even a bonus on top of all of the other stuff, kind of flow. It's like taking that energetic inventory and using what you learned to manifest another path or a better improved way of existing, right? Because we're in a new era. We're about to be in the vibration of 6. 2022 is the overall energy, the overall vibration of the number 6. Is that energy that comes right after the transformation of 5, which is what we've been dealing with right now. COVID-19 created spiritual solitude. It gave everybody the opportunity to go within themselves and work on themselves and clear themselves of external influences, right? So if you were that yellow energy, you had that opportunity to clear all that other stuff and return yourself back to your true authentic self, have individual thoughts. Sorry if I'm going too fast channeling. So on and so forth. So now you're going into 2022, which is the vibration of 6, and it's the aftermath. It's a residual energy that Solstice has left over, right? So if you are finally entering union with your person at this solstice energy, then the residual is just learning how to be with each other on a different level. It's that newness, that new fresh energy of happiness kind of deal, right? And all that comes through all of the things that you've experienced. It comes through that finding balance between death and magic and spirituality and religion and trusting yourself and loving yourself and manifesting for yourself and loving yourself and apologizing to yourself for allowing bad things to happen or missing opportunities, so that way beautiful opportunities can come in. It's that grounding yourself and being one with your higher self, so that way you're open and receptive to spiritual information, guidance, and wisdom, right? That self-discovery, that ascension process. So that's what I have for Aquarius. Thank you. If you want to schedule with me, you can get the information from the description box. All sessions are available by Zoom video, audio, and in-office sessions are restricted to paid subscribers. To contact me, in the description box, it is info@divinity648. If you want to book, you could use book now at divinity648, or you can call or text me.